Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Hakodash, the bounce of the apostles, GMS, Ruel, so the faithful men continually doing the work of the Lord. Alright, so I'm going to make this land back video of the brother GMS Spiritual Temple 2. Alright, this is a very, very good video. I ain't finished it yet, but he made a very good point. He says, can we actually be saved within months? Yes, it happened with the first Egypt. All right, and like the elder, or it's like I don't know if he's an elder, Salakia, but but like the brother said, you know what I'm saying? Um, actually, yeah, Salakia, forgive me, I don't really know this brother's name. Like I believe he's in the gym at Houston, but like he said, man, he quoted Apostle Tahar, you know, like Apostle Tahar said, you know, once they bring that MOTB and make that mandatory, then we can be out here in months. Because once they bring that and make it mandatory, time is going to really speed up. Like right now, it's already sped up. You see what I'm saying? But when the Lord do that, man, it's gonna be sped up. It's probably gonna be times 10. You know, and we can be out of here in a matter of months. You know, and excuse me, and that's very possible because like the brother was, you know, if you watch this video, which you know I highly recommend. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much he looked up on the Chat GBT, like, you know, pretty much like how long did it took from the time Moses first appeared to Pharaoh and the Israelites getting delivered, you know, the sea getting split and all that. You know what I'm saying? And all them plagues and all the different things, pretty much Israel getting delivered. It really took. It happened within a year. It happened less than a year. They said pretty much, you know, there's not a real, no, the Bible doesn't say, okay, it took this many time, but if you count, Moses appeared before your boy Pharaoh at 80 years old, and he passed away at 120. So they was in the wilderness for 40 years. So I'm saying, so 40 plus 80 is 120. So if you do the calculations, then you will see that that it had to been within a year. It had to been less than that. It had to been within really months. So the Lord did all that and delivered the Israelites in a small matter of time. Same thing is going to happen in this place. Once the Lord brings the MOTB, you see what I'm saying? Is especially when it's mandatory, it's going to be sped up even more. And you got to think about it. Look at with the Rona. You know what I'm saying? The Maxine waters. All right, they they said it takes 5 years to make a Maxine. So like these damn words be stupid as hell, bro. It'd be funny, man. We gotta use Maxine waters. You know what rhymes with Maxine. All right, but they said it takes 5 years to make a Maxine, but yet they came out, I believe, within months, because man, Esau, he knows what the fuck going on. His scripture says he knows he has short time, so a lot of things is already pre-planned. He gonna make a event, however the fuck he gonna do it, an event or economy collapse. It's gonna be a mixture of things. What they call a poly crisis, and then it's gonna be like, you know what? Well, here, you know, the world is suffering, the whole world is suffering. You know what? I come up with a solution. How about we all just take the Marco C here? All right. That's what's going to happen, man. It's probably going to be something similar to World War II, after World War II, when you know, pretty much America, you know, the dollar became the world currency. You see what I'm saying? Because I believe the other nations were suffering. You see what I'm saying? So they came up with a solution, pretty much like this gonna be the world currency. You know, it's probably gonna be something similar like that. The whole world's gonna suffer, and they gonna need some type of solution. Just like right now, people are suffering off this Iran war. You got energy crises going on. You got different nations telling people, you know, you got to hold back on electricity. You know, you got water crisis in America. You got people in Michigan suffering, telling people in Michigan not to wash their ass. You know, not to wash their clothes and not to water their gardens and stuff like that. You know, things are gonna get even more tighter and tighter, and they're gonna come up with a solution like MOTB. But anyways, so that was a very, very, very beautiful point that the brother made. Um, but also I wanted to add, because I went to ChatGPT and asked how would the Egypt plagues affect America if it happens today. All right, in which, Lord willing, let me pull out that scripture real quick, because you know it's not going to happen exactly the same. It's going to be worse, really. But most definitely these plagues, especially America, but really the world, is going to suffer all kinds of different plagues similar to Egypt. This is second Ezra 15, and I'm gonna start at 10. It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." And right, and this is because you know at this time, you know, this is Ezra. This is the second temple period. You know, so we already been got delivered out of Egypt. So what is he talking about? This is talking about the new Egypt, all right, the new Babylon, the new Rome, America. I was about to say America the Great, but America, all right. It says, "And I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and we destroy all the land thereof." Right. You see what I'm saying? Just like if you read Judith, you know, 1:1, it says that Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Nineveh, you know, really it was talking about a Persian king, you know, which they, you know, if you look up the history, it most likely would have been Artaxerxes III. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know for a fact. But it had to have been a Persian king. But that just shows you that we liken different nations as a different nation. Like the Persians, we liken them to, in the ancient world, we liken them into Nebuchadnezzar. You know, that's Babylon. You know what I'm saying? And he said he ruled out the land of Nineveh. You know, those are the Syrians that was ruling Nineveh. You see what I'm saying? But just like today, we say America is Egypt, it's Rome, all right, Babylon. You know. But anyways, it says, "And I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretch." I read that, Salakia. I'll just finish it out. "Stretch our arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and we destroy all the land thereof." Right. So the Lord going to strike Egypt again with plagues as before, just like the first time. You see what I'm saying? All right. "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it." All right. "They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and they that dwell therein." And I can stop there. You know, it's all pretty good, but you know, the point was made. Let me go back to this. All right. I hate when chat does this shit, man. It might pop up. There you go. That's why sometimes you gotta, unless you, I think you can make an account too, but sometimes I be pinning the, you see right there, it says unpin chat. You gotta pin a chat, so when you look up something, you can save it, because then once you try to come back to it, it's gonna be similar, but it's gonna be kind of different. But it says, "If the 10 plagues of Egypt described in the book of Exodus chapter 7 through 12 happen in America today with the same supernatural power and scale, the effects will be unlike anything in modern history. Here's how each plague can impact the United States. Water turned to blood, Exodus 7:14. It says, "Rivers, lakes, and reservoirs become unusable. Drinking water systems fail. Fish die, creating widespread food shortages and diseases. Cities that rely on rivers will face immediate crises," right? And we are already suffering right now. You know, you got like I said, you got Michigan. They suffering right now with a water shortage, and I believe Trump said that too. It's going to be more water shortages. All right, and why? Because right now, and I made a video on that not too long ago, how they using what the scripture says they gonna use the youth of the earth pretty much, and they overuse it. Was that Wisdom of Solomon 2? Because right now you got these data centers, which that's gonna lead to the MOTB. You gotta have had like a lot of water to feed that shit. And that's taking water from people. That's taking water from the people, man. So people gonna suffer from that. Look up how uh how these data centers can affect the average day people, man. We gonna suffer because of that. Cause water, land, noise, and all that shit. I made a video on it, man. People gonna suffer because of that, man. All right, and they don't give a fuck because they gonna bring that in. They gonna try to bring that in. New World, NWO. All right, it says 2 Ezra 6:22, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall be sudden it shall suddenly be found empty. You ain't got no food in the stores. That shit gonna be empty, man. It says in the Trump let me yeah, we keep going. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another, like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the water fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Right. So friends is gonna be fighting each other because people are gonna have no food, no water, no safety. They ain't gonna trust people, and water is not gonna be, you ain't gonna be able to go to ain't gonna have the luxury of going to your bathroom, turn on the you stinking or whatever. You can turn the shower on, or you thirsty, put some. Nah, you ain't gonna have that luxury no more. All right. It says frogs, Exodus 8:1. It says millions of frogs invade homes, businesses, roads, hospitals, and airports. Transportation and sanitation become major problems. The deaths will attract insects and spread diseases, right? And the Lord can do that again. Like I said, everything ain't going to be completely the same as ancient Egypt, but the Lord will do that. The Lord will send these different frogs and little locusts and all kinds of different crazy ass creatures, and people gonna get affected off of it, man, and get fucked up. It's gonna be dirty. Ain't gonna have no more sanitation, and it's just gonna be gross, man. It says gnats or lice, Exodus 8, 16-19. Tiny biting insects will overwhelm people and livestock. Outdoor work will become extremely difficult. Health concerns will increase rapidly, right? And then on top of that, just look at the mosquitoes or whatever little insects that bite you, then I can transfer diseases. You know what I mean? Then Esau got, the Bill Gates of hell, as the elder Yasharamba would say. You see what I'm saying? Then they got the modified GMO fucking insects and shit biting you and shit, giving you diseases and God knows what else. All right. Flies, Exodus 8:20. Food contamination becomes widespread. Restaurants, grocery stores, and food processing plants struggle to operate. Disease transmission increases. Right. You know what I'm saying? And hey, man, hey, Lord of the Flies. Because these demons going to turn up, man. So, and this filthiness and these flies, hey, that's going to link to really with these evil spirits too. Because you can't forget when Wisdom of Solomon 17, because when it was speaking about these different, the time in Egypt, it was these evil spirits that was fucking with people, man. It was tormenting these Egyptians. All right. Anyway, so as a matter of fact, it's gonna mention it down there with the darkness, because yeah, man, them flies, man, that shit gonna, man, that's gonna, like I said, it's gonna link to demons, man. That's gonna go hand in hand. All right. These people, they look at it, well, it's just a ball of flies. Oh, it's just like, nah, they ain't gonna see the spiritual realm behind it. All right, death of livestock. It says Exodus 9:1-7, massive losses of cattle, horses, sheep, pigs, and other farm animals. And you already seen that a couple years ago. A lot of places, a lot of farms, a lot of chickens was dying. I want to say millions probably, or at least a couple thousands. farmland being destroyed, cows being destroyed, and you know who the fuck doing this shit, man. And you got your Bill Gates of hell. He buying the farmland, and I believe he's buying the water. He's buying all the shit. Why? Because once the shit gets real, you gonna have to go to him to get your daily needs. And then once you go to him, guess what? All that shit gonna be completely GMO, and then some. You know what I'm saying? It says beef, dairy, and many avocado products become scarce. Farmers suffer numerous economic losses, right? And farmers put a lot into their craft, man. And a lot of them that loses a lot of money and shit like that once their farm go down and shit like that. A lot of them just commit suicide, man. But farmers are very important. But people don't really consider that. They just look at a streamer, because he can make millions. Nigga became AB became a fucking millionaire again within 30 days, man. But a farmer, this nigga is suffering. Wake up early, probably go to sleep late, suffer. And then once he see his shit crashing and ain't making no money, his livestock dying, especially these crackers, they gonna kill themselves, man. All right, because they already are. It says boils, Exodus 9:8-12. Painful skin disease affect millions. Hospitals become overwhelmed. Many essential workers cannot perform their jobs, right? And you already see that, with the different pestilence. Shit. All right. Luke 21:11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence. And you seen that, I think, like last week or 2 weeks ago. It was like 3 or 4 major ass earthquakes, like in Japan, I think America, and I think somewhere else, happening within hours within each other, all in one day. You see what I'm saying? I think Venezuela too. They got fucked up. Venezuela, whole building just fell, collapsed. All them niggas in that building dead, man. All right. What they say of biblical proportions. That's what kind of judgment that's about to come to this place. All right. What happened? What was that? A couple years ago? What was that? I forgot where. It was somewhere in a different country. Like 22,000 fucking people died off of earthquake, man. That shit was horrible, man. You know. It says, in famines and pestilence and fearful sights and great signs there shall be from heaven. Right. So all kind of diseases of all kinds of sorts. It says, right, many essential workers cannot perform their jobs, right? You see what I'm saying? It's gonna be lockdowns again. Man won't be able to desire to go to another city. He won't be able to, and it's gonna be because of that. And when the time of Rona, it's the only ones that was really so-called working was the essential workers. But how much more when the essential workers can even work? You know what I'm saying? It says hail mixed with fire, Exodus 9:13-35. Crops are destroyed, homes, vehicles, infrastructure are heavily damaged. Insurance and emergency service will be stressed beyond capacity. Right. You're gonna call what's in your wallet. State you're gonna call Jake from State Farm. This nigga he's too busy to answer. He through. You know? It says locusts, Exodus 10:1-20. Any remaining crops are destroyed, consumed. Food shortages worsened dramatically. Food prices soared, and a lot of people don't even know you can eat locusts. You see what I'm saying? But hey, through now food's gonna be scarce. So now food prices are gonna soar. It's gonna be inflation, hyperinflation, because it's like, okay, we don't got that much eggs left. Now eggs is gonna be $18 for 2 eggs. You know what I'm saying? It says darkness for 3 days. Exodus 10 and 21 through 29. If supernatural darkness prevented all visibility, transportation would stop. Air travel, shipping, commerce, and emergency services will be severely disrupted. Fear and uncertainty will spread nationwide, right? And again, read Wisdom of Solomon 17. It goes into it when that darkness was happening. Them demons was really fucking with these Egyptians, so they couldn't even see most of the time. They was just hearing noises and demons beating their ass, and they couldn't even start a fire. And man, hey, the Lord might do something similar to that again. You know, I mean, who knows? It might not exactly be that way, but you know, most definitely a lot of freakish shit gonna happen. Just like Venezuela, after that earthquake, the whole sky was fucking red, man. All right. You know, I had a dream. Me and the brother was out and about, and then we was walking the streets, and there was all kinds of. We seen demons just running down the street. It's gonna be like that, man. You're gonna walk outside, and it's gonna be a fucking bizarre world. You're gonna hear gunshots. You're gonna hear women getting raped, children getting killed. You're gonna see demons running up and down the street, hopping on people, man. It's gonna be the spiritual world, especially, is gonna open up. It's gonna be a very terrifying sight. All right. You're gonna see brothers getting delivered, angels doing the, chariots, more sightings, all that. It says, death for the firstborn, Exodus 11:12. This will be the most devastating plague, emotionally and socially. Nearly every family will experience profound grief. The nation will be traumatized, and normal life will effectively come to a halt. Right, And hey, like I said, it may not exactly be like that again. But the Lord will, hey, I believe every household is going to experience death. You know what I'm saying? The little baby going to die, your mama, your daddy, your cousins, your friends, your co-workers. A lot of people you going to know, even us. We got to be prepared for that shit, man. Your own fucking family probably going to die too, man. We got to prepare our mind for that, man. Of course, the Lord going to protect us, and he going to protect us in our house. But you don't know, bro. Not every single one of us is gonna be just make it out alive. Even some brothers gonna fucking die. We gonna be good, but some of us might die. Hey, remember Lot's wife? Lot and his daughters got delivered, not his wife. His wife looked back. You might go to the wilderness, and your wife might start tripping. Oh man, I'm gonna go back. Man, I see Esau. He got a center up there. All they gotta do is take the check. We can just go up there and get the food. And the Lord might kill that bitch, man. And you gotta be prepared for that, man. And you gotta keep fucking going, just like Lot and his daughters did, man. All right. Prepare your mind for that, man. And I wanted to make a video on that a long time ago, but I may have to get into it again. But anyways, from a biblical perspective, the plagues were not merely natural disasters. They were acts of divine judgment against Pharaoh's refusal to let Israel go, and demonstrations that the God of Israel was the greater than Egypt's gods. Exodus 12:12. The biblical narrative emphasized that they were meant to lead people to recognize God's authority. If such events occurred today in the same unmistakably supernatural way, many people would likely conclude that they were not no ordinary environmental disasters. Government, scientists, religious leaders, and the public will all be forced to grapple with events that define natural explanation. There would almost certainly be widespread economic collapse, panic, humanitarian crisis, and renewed attention to spiritual questions. Right. Because what the scripture says, then there shall be known who is my chosen. So people they're gonna be like, oh shit, where's the prophets at? Oh, I remember they said this gonna happen. This gonna happen. Oh, what they gonna search us, man? They gonna search for us. All right. A lot of these people gonna forsake their religions. Islam ain't gonna have no fucking answer. Plantation Christianity ain't gonna have no answer. And so on and so forth. All right. It says the central message of the Exodus account is not simply the disasters themselves, but God's declaration. Exodus 10:2, that ye may know that I am Yahweh. The plagues served as the signs of judgment, justice, and ultimately deliverance for God's people. And that's going to happen again, man. You know, in a similar fashion. The Lord's going to deliver his people, and he's also going to show his judgment, show forth his power, his sheer power to these people. And they gonna know, like, damn, these are the people. This is the Most High. All right. So I'm gonna end it off on this. Wisdom of Solomon 12. And 25, therefore unto them as to children without the use of reason, that then sends a judgment to mock them. But they that would not be reformed by that corruption, wherein he dwelt with them, shall feel a judgment worthy of the Most High. Man, and this judgment is gonna be worse. It's gonna be way worse. The first Exodus is gonna. This Exodus is gonna eclipse the first one, man. It's gonna be far greater. All right, far more gruesome. All right, and then on top of that, not all Israel's gonna be delivered. Only 1/3 is gonna be delivered. So even our people gonna get fucked up. All right. It says, "For look, for what things they grudge when they were punished, that is, for them that whom they thought to be gods, now being punished in them, when they saw that they acknowledged him to be the true God, where whom they denied to know, and therefore came extreme damnation upon them." Right, so it's gonna be beautiful, man. That's why Isaiah 26 says, you know, when the judgment is on the earth, these people will know the Lord. All right. So yeah, man. So that's pretty much the point, man. Lord willing, hopefully that was edifying. You know, I'm gonna give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Papa Bash, the bounce to the apostle of GMS Ruel, shalom to the faithful men, continue doing the work of the Lord. So that I'm gonna say, shalom.